take that same argument you just used about Ukraine and turn it around to Russia. And some of their very high-ranking military, I think an admiral and generals have been killed in this war.
Lots.
Their leadership is dying. How are they?
No, their old leadership is dying. Don't forget that the previous leadership in Russia were all the old, corrupt people who were not there because of their competence. They were there because of their loyalty and their ability to spin money out to people who were demanding the money from them. So they were not trained, high-quality generals, with some exceptions. Those exceptions being those technical areas like the artillery and electronic warfare, where you can't go anywhere without having a degree of brain. But of course, and you've got brains to come in, because otherwise it doesn't work at all. But the infantry and the bog standard soldiers, you don't need they don't think you need brains for that, because their doctrine has been you get in a vehicle, you drive and you fight and you die. And then the next one comes and drives a bit faster and drives harder and dies, which is what they're doing in the battle now.
All right.
But what they're getting now is more intelligent people coming into some of those jobs, because some of those now in the war are not the old corrupt army people. They're slightly newer. They're slightly, you've got people coming in from business. You've got people, younger, brighter ones who have not yet been soured off by corruption, the corruption of the army over years. Most of the senior generals in Russia were the level of a good senior sergeant in America. Why are they there? Because of loyalty. Loyalty. Number one principle, loyalty. Ability to find money for the boss so he can buy a bigger house. Look at all those generals. Go and see where they lived. See whether you can find one who lives in a little flat. Not many, I can tell you.
I really appreciate this, because you give me a way of looking at things, which I have no ability without someone like you. How often do you find that people reporting on Ukraine have no idea about military stuff?
About 95%. 95%. And there are some who are very, I have one French journalist who really digs and digs and digs and digs, and he'll ring me, then he'll ring me back again to because he's asked someone else and someone else has said something different. But actually the amount of journalists from outside who understand, for starters, you have to understand the culture. Now, don't say that I understand the culture completely, because there are depths to this culture that are almost impossible. And I was talking to someone last night in Ukraine in the system, and he was again trying to educate me on some of the things of why do they not do this. So there's all these complexities, cultural history that you have, that no Western European can really grasp. And I found that the most simple thing to do is to ignore most of that, and ignore it totally, and only look at results. In other words, actually what is happening. So when someone says we're going to do a million drones, how many are being produced? Exactly how many are being produced? Answer, ask the units, how many have you been given? So if they say, well, we're getting one a week, you can multiply that by the number of units and work out how many drones have been produced. And so you have to go to the data all the time and trust the data, trust the money, where the money is being spent. And that tells you exactly what is really happening, not what people are saying. So you've got to go to the data. And that big part of my activity and my research is data mining, of actually trying to get at the fundamental truth of what is actually happening somewhere in A, B, and C. Not what people are saying is happening, but what is actually happening. Quite difficult a lot of times.